Subscribe to our YouTube channel, News Now Nation, for in-depth interviews and press the bell icon so you do not miss any of our updates.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the News Now Nation channel. We have another really exciting entrepreneur with us today, and we are going to talk about her really cool company that is a petless supply company, and they supply a bunch of pet supplies and food and accessories and products for pets. And this is based in central India in Indore. And we are going to talk to her, Rishika, who is the founder of this company, about her startup journey, about her journey founding this company, and her experience with entrepreneurship. Specifically, we want to talk to you about how you decided to become a canine trainer, which is something I read in your LinkedIn. So, thank you, Rishika, for joining us. We're really excited to have you.
Thank you so much, Mishri. Thank you for having me over.
Brilliant. So, just to start, you want to tell us a little bit about how you got into the world of dogs uh, and how that got started.
So I was working in Mumbai, and this was in the year 2011, 10, 11, basically. And so I was with Cox and Kings Group Company, working as a public relations person. And of course, then, being away from home, I got a little homesick, and I decided that, to have a pet would be the ideal thing.
Hmm.
So I decided to get my Labrador from Pune, Scooby.
Hmm.
And then I got so attached to him, my neighbor would complain that, he whines and he misses you, I guess.
Hmm.
And so, that motherly instinct in me woke up, and I decided that, I must, and of course, from where I got Scooby, she herself is a businesswoman, and she runs a pet boarding in Pune. So
Hmm.
she, encouraged me to go and, try out dog training. There's a woman called Shirin Merchant in Mumbai who
Hmm.
is India's pioneer in
Hmm.
training assistant dogs
Hmm.
for specially abled people.
Hmm. Hmm.
So that is how then the link, I got connected to Shirin, and I decided that, and she was coincidentally, she was coming up with a course in March.
Uh,
So I decided in January to put in my resignation and follow my so it was a very sudden decision. I had no plans of entering this thing, but then once I decided to get on it, there was no looking back.
right. Brilliant.
Yes.
So, okay, so it was an impulsive decision to start becoming
Yes.
an entrepreneur, to start that journey. I want to ask you how the beginning stages of the journey were.
So the beginnings is never easy, never easy for any person who's deciding to get into business. So I had a lot to take care of. Especially, you must be knowing about the high Mumbai rents
Hmm.
and a lot of things, that instability. And my parents were, of course, very, they freaked out that, what are you? I mean, after get kya bol rahe ho, dog training? What is it all about? So all that kind of a thing. So it was very difficult, but then I decided, I kept getting the right people. I came across a lot of supportive people, basically, I must say. And that is how I began. And yeah, struggles were there, living in a BHK, traveling so far for trainings. And I also launched my hostel because people told me that, you're really good with pets, so we would like to leave our pets with you on vacations when we go out.
Correct,
And
correct.
that is how I got into dog boarding also in Mumbai. So
Hmm.
then I decided to launch my former brand, which is We Are Mad About Dogs. And then, so that is how it was the beginning. And living in a 1 BHK, managing so many dogs. Of course, the apartment had issues,
I'm
and the
sure.
list was endless. Yeah.
I'm sure the apartment will
Yes.
have issues if you have like five dogs in a tiny house.
Oh,
Right.
but then they were very well trained dogs. Of course, Mumbai people, I would, thumbs up to them. They really take care of their pets, and they're very aware. That
Right.
metro thing is there.
Yeah,
Yes.
and
So
the metro dogs, the dogs are also no, absolutely, and I think Mumbai dogs are also used to living in confined spaces. If you
yes,
got a
of
dog
course.
from Pune who's used to like a garden, or if, or another
Yes.
small like smaller cities, I'm sure they would really struggle to stay closed in
Yes,
like
of course.
tiny.
So that was a huge difference, I saw in Mumbai, and then when I came back to my hometown Indore.
So
So
how
it
did
was
the
quite
decision to
different.
come back to Indore come about?
So the thing was, of course, parents have that thing that, get married, come back, and so Bombay में क्या कर रही हो? हो गया, all your
Oh
passion is
yeah.
done, you come
अब कर
back.
लिया. Yeah.
Yes, so they were like, come back and we'll figure out some way for you. So, and of course, I had a bungalow here. So, and of course, the apartments, like I told you, they were having issues and there were, several struggles I was going through. So, I decided to come back to Indore and maybe continue Mad About Dogs over here.
Hmm.
At my bungalow, and where I stayed, it was at the outskirts in the city, and I had a huge space,
Hmm.
farm life basically.
Hmm.
So I decided to come back. I got along my dog Scooby, and by that time I had another Labrador called Aura uh, to accompany me and him. And so yeah, we came back to Indore, and that is how then I began here.
Yeah. Yeah. So how is Mad About Dogs, right? Yeah.
Yes, we are
How is
mad,
that
mad about.
different from Pet Deals, your current startup?
So, Mad About Dogs was I was only into training dogs. I wanted to create an awareness in a city like Indore, a very small city where, the culture was that, give your dog doodh roti, agar main bahar, if I'm going out. So I
Hmm.
might, ask my neighbor or leave it with my watchman and tell him, ki aap iska thoda pacha din, just take care of him. We'll
Hmm.
pay you a certain amount. And so there was no professional, it was like, they didn't understand the concept of a hostel, why to keep your dog with a professional, and those kind of things. And I wanted to create that awareness to move out of doodh roti, because that's not what's supposed,
Yeah.
dogs are not supposed to. Yeah, so they're carnivores by nature,
Yeah.
right? So they in the jungle they're not eating doodh roti.
Yeah.
That's a more Indian way,
Correct.
basically. Yeah.
Correct.
So, and in a place like in Norway, you cannot feed non-veg. Like me being a Jain, I'm also
Correct.
not allowed to feed eggs and non-veg to my dogs.
Yeah.
So then I moved to better dog food brands, commercially available. And then I did my research. I understood that people need to really understand that it's high time Indore, wakes up and
It's,
realizes that
and
yeah, we need
gives the
to
dog the nutrition it needs. Uh,
a better life for the dog, definitely.
yep.
Like there, yeah, यहाँ पे we have huge bungalows, huge spaces, and the dogs are left open, and then of course there will be ticks and fleas and all those kinds of snake bites and so many things which people are not really and the veterinary doctors are also here need to upgrade on nutrition and
Hmm.
a lot of things. So
Correct.
yeah, that was my main aim of starting Mad About Dogs. So I used to do training, do one-on-one personal talks with the owner, and that's where I started pouring in my whatever knowledge I had acquired from Mumbai,
Correct.
and I making one life better.
Hmm. Hmm.
So yeah, that is
Brilliant.
how it started.
No, your love for dogs is very, very evident, and
Thank
it's
you so much.
beautiful. Just to now move on to the current company. What do you? How did this start, and how did this sort of journey start?
All right. So, Mad About Dogs was functioning as usual, and then the lockdown hit, and training and hostel and everything got shut. I mean, uh, and then my dad passed away a month before the lockdown, not due to Corona, of course.
Hmm.
And I was feeding dogs on his in his memory, street dogs, because they were not getting food during the lockdown.
Hmm.
And people, of course, I had a network. People knew me, and they started calling me कि we're not getting food, we're not getting the medicines, so do something about it. आपको कहाँ से मिल रहा है? Give us some portion of your
Hmm.
food.
Hmm.
So that is how then I decided that no, and nobody, the municipal corporation, nobody was really thinking about animals.
Hmm.
And of course then there was news all over that aggression in the stray dogs has started, they are
Correct.
biting us.
Correct.
And so that struck me that the need of the hour is to, so it just started with a basic genuine intention of providing food
Hmm.
and important medicines to the pet dogs and of
Hmm.
course stray dogs. And that is how then I started connecting with companies. I had I, of course it was also not an easy process. Nobody shares their sources directly with you, but people in Indore were really supportive, and the industry people, my colleagues especially, they're amazing here.
Yeah.
And so it's very so pet industry in India and Indore is a very friendly place right now.
Yeah.
There's not much of a competition kind of a thing,
Yeah.
and we all come out from a basic instinct of helping the animals.
Right.
So yeah, so then that is how I started Pet Deals. I started home delivering whatever so Pedigree was the only company that time who was helping us. Uh, so that is how I started supplying their bags to people, and I arranged for a pass from Mr.
Correct.
Lalwani, who's the Sansad over here.
Correct.
So that is how it started, and I started doing home deliveries. And then people, they were like, "Don't, हमको आपका अच्छा लग रहा है. You just continue this,
Don't stop.
and do not shut it down. We need,
Correct.
because nobody wanted to step out and go to the
Correct.
shop.
Correct.
So
It's so
yeah, that was
interesting.
the
Correct. It's so interesting because the demand was there. People were very
yes,
directly demanding it from you.
correct.
That's how the business started. Almost like the customers only started the business in a way.
Yes,
Uh,
yes, a big
right.
support. Still are.
Obviously, yeah.
Yeah.
Um, I recently I was stalking you on LinkedIn, so I saw that you got recognized in one of the 25 super startups of Indore. What is that?
Yes.
How is that like, and what does that mean?
So basically, Mr. Narendra Modi, our Prime Minister, has started. He's focusing and he's empowering the startups of India, and that is how when he declared the National Startup Day, the Mr. Lalwani from Indore, he decided to recognize and create a startup hub for people from Indore who are because see, like I told you, Indore is a small place, and people here from here are moving out to cities like Mumbai
Mm.
and Bangalore because
Mm.
they have infrastructure and they have the right clientele, to focus
Correct.
and
Correct.
of course grow. So
Mm.
he also recognized that thing which is missing in Indore, and he decided to come out with something and help us. So
Brilliant.
he yeah, so there was he announced that we will be recognizing startups and we will be giving you opportunities, and you fill up this form and come out.
Mm.
So that is how I just randomly I also filled up a form, and I got selected. So it was
Brilliant.
a very surprising, sweet surprise.
That is brilliant.
Yeah,
Congratulations. Uh,
thank you so much.
that is a brilliant recognition to have, and a very official recognition to have, and I'm sure that was nice to
Yes.
get. Um, all right, so all of this is brilliant. What are the future plans for pet deals? Is there anything on the cards right now that your customers and other dog lovers or pet lovers should be prepared for?
So yes, of course, I'm planning to grow. Now the thing is that the market is now a little stable because we won't be having more lockdowns. I'm assuming and I'm hoping. So yeah. So I do plan to move off line as well, but that is still a little, and a lot of people are suggesting, keep yourself into online because that is what the need of the hour is. We don't want to step out, and it's very convenient. Like I have a lot of people who are ordering who are in the US, who have parents here, so they just ping me over WhatsApp and they tell me that please go and deliver this to our parents, and that is how I go and deliver it to them. So it's very convenient for them. And currently I'm doing everything on my own, me and my mother. We procure things on our own, we go and supply things on our own, and I
Correct.
am doing it because I enjoy it. Basically, that awareness thing which I was talking about. When I talk to the customer, I make them understand why buy this food, why not buy this
Hmm.
medicine, whatever. So it and I enjoy meeting
Yeah.
those the pets after all. So I'm doing all of that on my own. But then of course once I grow and I'll have to figure out the
The
business
team.
properly. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, so I am planning on a lot of things. Of course, launching a website or an app maybe. So
Yeah.
we are working on those lines.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think once the scalability comes, you will
Yes.
have to, the WhatsApp will be too hectic
Yes.
for you. So I'm
WhatsApp
sure,
and Facebook. Yeah.
yeah, it will happen, and I'm sure all these things that will
Yes.
come, a proper e-commerce platform, so to speak, will
Yes.
be launched. All right, brilliant. Before we close this interview, is there anything else you would like to share about the
So
company, about dogs? Any like top three tips for dog owners, maybe?
top three tips about dog owners. Yeah, pay attention on nutrition, pay attention on training, and building your bond with your dog is very important. There are a lot of people still, who struggle and who get back to me. We are not able to train our dogs.
Hmm.
So that's because they are not trying to, put in those kind of efforts. So you must understand you. And the third most important thing is become a responsible pet owner. It is a life, it is a commitment which you are getting for 15 years maximum and 10 years minimum to your life if all goes well.
Absolutely.
And if all will go well when you become responsible and you
Right.
pay attention to their nutrition, pay attention to their emotional needs, because now you need to realize you're domesticating them. So now they are going to be according, like they're not in the wild jungle doing whatever they want to do, and they will have a life which will be in sync with your routine.
Hmm.
So it's like having a baby, um, who will never grow up. So you have to take care of him twice a day. So all these kind of things, and Corona has seen a huge number of we've seen a surge in pet
Right.
ownership.
Correct.
People have, yeah, for the kids they've just got puppies and now they are clueless.
Yeah.
Also pets also need socialization, they need to meet
Yeah.
people to stay friendly, they need to meet other dogs and animals, and
Correct.
COVID lockdown was depriving them of that. So
Correct.
now the dogs are also clueless, like what is happening, mere ghar pe who's coming. So
Correct.
those kind of things, so it was a random decision many people got into. But yeah, let's see how it goes onwards.
Brilliant.
So yeah, responsible pet ownership.
Responsible pet ownership. Brilliant.
Yes.
Awesome, Rishika. It was awesome talking to you, and it was
Thank you
awesome to
so
hear
much.
about your love for dogs.
Thank you.
It is definitely infectious, and I hope you get to feed many more dogs across the country, not just actually across the world. You said you have uh, customers who are sitting in US and ordering from you. So,
Yeah, and so one very good thing happened, that Guinness Book of World Records, the World Book of Records, basically, they had recognized pet deals for the services we did during the lockdown for stray dogs. So
wow.
within 10 days, like with the help of community contribution, pet deals had donated and supported feeders and NGOs across Indore. And we donated 330 kgs of dog food and 45 kgs of cat food.
My
So
God. That is brilliant. Yeah.
so yes, so that was something. And yeah, so that is how I reached an international level, and people started recognizing us over there. And then there were a lot of people, friends from Dubai,
Mm,
who donated and who said that we would like to contribute for the street dogs. So
mm,
you just go and deliver it to whomever you feel.
yeah.
And we made videos, and yeah, so that was
Brilliant.
another drive, and I wish to continue doing that, not
Definitely.
just during the lockdown, but
Definitely.
yes.
I wish you continue to do that too. That is brilliant. I think the stray dogs in our country do not get the love they deserve. So it is
Correct.
awesome that you are doing that.
Thank you
Brilliant,
so
Rishika.
much.
It was awesome talking to you. For people who want to learn more about this company, I'm going to put some details about Rishika in the description below, including her LinkedIn, where if you want to work with her and collaborate with her or even order from her, you can do that. So thank you so much, Rishika. It was awesome talking to you, and we will see everybody else soon.
Thank you.